The only time I ever smoke is when I'm on the M50.
I didn't know you smoked.
I don't. It's when I'm on the M50.
But we all passively smoke when we're on the M50, don't we?
And I don't passively. I'm literally, well, I suppose, like it's literally lighting them up one after another.
I'm not picking your brains on any of this stuff whatsoever. So, resilience and mental toughness. Yes, that's a broad one. Because the level of resilience can range from everything from, again, dealing with, say, personal injury to dealing with equipment failure to maybe not doing so well in the competition to even dealing with like other people.
Yeah.
Do you know?
Yeah.
It's a very broad one. And I suppose your mental and personal fortitude is tested on all those levels regularly. And again, but you know what? Not just in archery, because no matter what sport or pursuit you're involved in, you're going to come across situations like that. So, developing resilience, you know what? That's very broad. That could be developing resilience applies to anything, even when you're driving a car, road rage, not getting annoyed at people. Resilience, and when it comes to developing or strengthening your own mental resilience in archery, I suppose when you're practicing or when you feel like you've maybe your practice session didn't go as well as you'd hoped or didn't go as well as last week, how do you develop a mental resilience for that? Or do you have any kind of do you go and beat yourself up over it?
No.
Or do you bounce back from it? Or do you have do you dwell on it or ruminate on it?
No, like I said before, and you weren't listening because, you're a man, but whatever.
I know, I'm looking at these jammy Dodgers you have in the
Yeah, you
here.
have them while I waffle,
Yeah, okay.
and your coffee's gone cold. But no, there was one time where I beat myself up and ruminated on stuff for about a week, and that's when I had that fall. Otherwise, I haven't. I do my thing. I go, grand, you're shite.
Yeah.
Go home, sort yourself out, have a shower, go bed. You know what I mean? And that's it. Because I can't change anything that I did. And it's not going to change the outcome of those arrows that I shot hours ago. So it's like, you've done that. Next time when you go in, just see what happens.
Yeah.
So that's it. Like, I don't take anything home with me.
That's really, really good.
I get in the car and I blare the music. You've already heard about it.
So yeah, so the whole, I suppose the whole mental resilience thing. The only thing like what I do say, like that could apply to anything. What I do find with archery is and I touched upon it there earlier. It really, but for me anyway, personally, it really does promote or invoke a certain level of personal reflection with a huge amount.
Yeah.
And a lot of that would be contemplating my own kind of personal mental resilience to, say, setbacks. Do you get frustrated? Do you pack it in, or do you take a break from it, or do you stop competing, or do you change direction? Do you focus on a certain type of competition? Do you avoid 3Ds, or do you avoid targets? Or do you avoid people? But this is all part of the things you have to deal with. And while that might be, you encounter that in life, in archery I find, because for some reason I find I reflect on that much more than I would say for a bad day in work.
Because work's work. Archery to you is a lot more than archery.
Yeah, exactly. It's because I've treated it more of it as a personal journey, whereas work is paying the bills for me anyway. And because I suppose I've personally invested in it as well. But so for me, it's created a kind of a certain personal journey of self-discovery.
Yeah.
And with that is my own fortitude, my own personal resilience which then I like to think then carries forward to other aspects of life
it
as
will
well.
do
you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
By default.
Yeah.
So that's been a really curious thing for me to explore and encounter, and don't always get it right, but that's all part of it. Yeah.
But that's, like I've said it before as well, like from my history, like when I volunteered, that's where I learned to close the door. When I left volunteering, at the end of the day, I closed the door and I left everything there, because me going home and crying about the situation people were in, me going home and getting pissed off about the state of the country, me going home and doing this and this, changed absolutely nothing.
No.
and all it did was affect my mental health.
Yeah.
So there's no way. After that, I basically learned how to put that wall
Yeah.
up and be no.
Yeah, and that's important. And like I said, for the enjoyment of archery, you have to have that resilience because you have to prioritize what you're getting out of the pursuit and sport as well. You're doing it essentially for you, okay, and you're enjoying it and you're learning from it. It has a physical benefits. It's got mental benefits as well. Focus, all the rest of it, meeting people, and that's your priority. And then you have to build up that, I suppose, that resilience from all the sometimes literally the BS that goes on as well.
Do you think that archery then plays a part in supporting mental health?
I think it can, and again, in many levels. Again, not being professional in that area, I think it offers huge. You consider things like the men's sheds, or I don't know what the women's equivalent is. Maybe women's
There
sheds.
are women's sheds, yeah.
There's a huge. There's a certain comfort and security. Like we're naturally a social species, but when you're working towards a goal together, you have that sense of purpose as well. And I think with archery, even though it's down as a sport, there's so many other aspects to it, and there's such a very heavy social aspect to it as well. And what's nice about it is not everybody in archery is an athlete in our common perception or definition of what an athlete is.
Yeah.
I never think about archers as athletes. I just think about them as archers.
Yeah, I'd say if you asked, what do you call it, group of people, Jesus words, when you say the word athlete, what did they visualize?
Yeah,
It'd be
exactly.
somebody like throwing a discus, running a marathon, doing this, very physical.
And you're thinking of physical prowess and performance delivery.
Yeah.
But when I think about an archer, I don't think about that. I don't think about an athletic aspect. I'm not saying there isn't physical attributes that are necessary for shot delivery and frequency. But I don't think about an archer as, and where I'm going with that is that it's a broad ranging thing. So there's social aspects to it, there's technical aspects to it, there's coaching, teaching, learning aspects to it that are very broad reaching. So I think it does offer that, I suppose, that level of it's an outlet for people in many ways.
And how do you think archery clubs can create a mentally supportive environment?
I think it's something that I'm giving a lot of thought to, is the whole thing about, because archery is very often a solitary pursuit. Okay, so like I touched upon there earlier, there's one of the loneliest places to be for me personally in archery is actually on a very busy or a shooting line tournament.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's so. Where I'm going with that is, it's very often it's a solitary journey. Even in the hall when you're practicing, sometimes it's just down to you and Spider-Man's head, in spite of the banter and everybody's going on. There's a moment there when you're at full draw, you're on your own. It's about creating. See, there's a whole thing about creating an autonomy, supportive environment, a boundaried environment, whereby, and it's a fine line between stepping forward and asserting your presence as a coach or another member and assisting someone, or creating an environment where that person can develop at their own pace, respect their boundaries, but they know that they have a cushion there or support there or a safe environment there should they need that support. It's there, it's in the background, it's present, but it's not in their face. It's not like it's creating that kind of environment where people can feel that they can shoot in comfort, develop at their own pace, but they know help is right there should they need it, or a bit of guidance.
Do you think that's what a mentally supportive coaching relationship looks like?
I think personally, I think it's crucial. It's very important, and I think as a coach, and look, it's very important to say, look, we're all volunteers, and whether you're a coach or you're an archer or you're an active participant in the running of a club as a committee member, we're only human and we're only volunteers. So none of us are being paid for this. Sometimes the only qualifications we have might be our level 1 instructor's course. So we're not psychologists, we're not behavioral analysts, we're not, I don't know, whatever. We're not technicians. We're just trying to have a bit of fun and meet people and enjoy it along the way. But we still must always be respectful of other people's objectives, their boundaries especially. Yeah. And that's why the coach-archer relationship is, for me, it's very important that it's that there's while there's boundaries, you're trying to create an environment where that archer is developing at his or her own pace, at their own, and that they're comfortable about it. They try that they're not self-conscious, They're not acutely aware of somebody watching them. That they're comfortable in their shot delivery, whether it's good or bad, but they know that support is there.
The reason I'm smiling is because you're saying about somebody watching them. Every time I know that you're standing behind me, I shoot like shit. Every
Yeah.
time.
Yeah. Look, I'll walk the line, okay, and I'll watch everybody, okay, but it's just to see, because look, there's obviously things I want to see. Hang on a second, is there's something, because you're also watching it for safety as well, in which case you'll interject in a second. Your string isn't on that, or you're not knocked properly, or your hour's too short. You might cop something and you get lower your boat, whatever, and that's what you. But so but you want to create. You want some. It's crucial that people are comfortable.
Yeah.
Because when you're doing a competition, again, it's a very you can be very self-conscious doing archery as well, because like for either whether it's performance or equipment or whatever, and if you let that get in on you, it can be very debilitating, and it can be very often for some people, I'm not doing this, I don't need that kind of. So I think to create an environment where for archers that's supportive of that, I think an environment that's supportive of their autonomy, I think it's absolutely crucial. I think it's critical. And I think it can be the difference between somebody staying in the sport or walking away from it.
And what role do you feel peer engagement plays in mental performance?
I think for younger archers, it's critical. Again, I think it's absolutely vital. For more mature or older people, they've reached a stage in life maybe where they have their, I suppose, their peer group established. That's not to say other people might do archery because they might have retired or they might be coming out of a relationship, whatever, and they're looking for something social. And it's an incredibly social sport. It's really nice like that. But the importance of peer engagement or peer presence, I think, is particularly pertinent for the junior archers and younger. Because for them, they're not necessarily at that stage where they're going through, say, a life change or looking for something new or whatever. They're maybe not even necessarily at the stage where now I can start competing. Kids are in college, I can go out there and I can make my name. I can start. Juniors maybe are not always. They just want to hang out, have a bit of fun, have a bit of crack. How do you do that? Is by having other juniors and other kids there. I think it's critical, and I know that from personal experience with my own daughter, Olivia. And the best day she has is not when she shoots. The best day she has is when she's out there and she's had the crack with other kids out there. And thankfully there's a few out there, and she's made some very good friends. And for me personally, coming home in the car, if I know she's had a good day, that does it for me. It's not about a record, it's not about a gain, it's not about a medal. But I know she's enjoyed it, had the crack. Hopefully not annoyed too many people. But that's another thing.
I don't think she's the one annoying people.
I think for junior engagement, a wonderful thing to see. Kids in the woods with bows. It's a fantastic thing to see. And particularly when you see them the different bow styles. And a red fox, which is really nice. Yeah, I'm talking about juniors, won't name names. We had a longbow shooter. We had a trad. We had a bear bow. We had freestyle unlimited. We had bow hunter. And they're all juniors. It's really cool to see them all out there. It's something very, and at that level, it's not about, now hopefully they'll stick with it. And because when they start entering the young adult categories and the adult categories, the competition is going to be there, and maybe a certain amount of work involved. But I think for junior archers, I think peer engagement and peer presence is absolutely critical. When you're older, you're an adult, you know what? Peer engagement, it can be as much down to us as well. But with juniors, they need that to be already there, maybe. Oh, I've one here. Learning from mistakes. I'm going to throw that one at you.
Okay.
First of all, when you are shooting on the line and you're shooting well or you're shooting bad, sometimes we're not aware. But when you're aware that you have made a mistake, first of all, let's say your arrow mightn't go where you want it to go. Would you be automatically aware that you've made a mistake, or maybe even before you've even released it or after it? Would you be like, would you often have that kind of, I suppose, immediate awareness then, hang on, that happened because it did this?
No, I'm really bad with it.
Yeah.
I never remember that if I do X, Y happens.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? Because how many times I've said to you, oh, it's going off that way, and you're like, oh, it's because that. And I'm like, oh, yeah. Most of the time,
Yeah.
it's the same thing. It's that I am dropping too soon after I release,
Yeah.
or I haven't got my anchor point. I think that seems to be the two common ones with me.
Yeah.
But I don't realize until you have said it to me.
And it's interesting because you might be shooting with somebody and they'd be having a good end or whatever, and then the arm might go off somewhere. And I would ask them, or they might even just offer what happened there, or they might just say, I know what I did there. What did you do? I didn't anchor, or I dropped my bow arm, or I didn't whatever. And or like they might have a bad end, you might open a conversation. What do you think happened there?
Do you know what the issue is with me though? It's because there's so many things to remember.
Yeah.
I drop one or two at least every time I shoot. I don't mean every time I shoot, every time I go to the hall. There's something I'll forget, and then I'll be like, oh, you didn't stroke your face after you let the arrow go.
It's called follow through.
Stroking your face. It's a reassurance thing. Comforting yourself for shooting shit.
Imagine me saying that to somebody in your like, now set up,
release, stroke your
draw, face, anchor, stroke your face.
Yeah. But at that, I hate doing that. And you keep saying to me too, and I'm like, I don't like it.
And just, you don't have to stroke it. It's just to get into the whole kind of.
But my static release...
Just to give a description of a certain point within your shot cycle.
But my static release works for me though.
Then if that's what works for you, that's fine.
You keep saying that, and then you tell me to stroke my face later on in the year.
Because sometimes when your arrows are doing not hitting Spider-Man's head, and we're trying to work it out.
My face isn't going to change that.
I'm always going to go back to the shot cycle of like follow through. Don't stroke anything. Just follow through.
No, but that's the thing. I always forget at least one or two things, and it's because it's in my head. I'm like, do that, and then do that, and then hold that there, and then do that, and then you have the anchor, and then what's over there? Is it touching there? Is it on your nose? Is it there? And I'm doing all that in my head, but then my brain just goes, oh, look, just leave the other bit out and just shoot. So that's what goes on.
And what of the headings are we going to revert to for that one? Is that focus? Is it confidence? Is it goal setting? Is it
focus.
Pressure? Is it
focus? No, it's always going to be focus with me because of the issue.
Okay.
The big issue that I have. It's always going to be focus. And that's part of why if I'm shooting away, I'm like, I want to shoot that target over there.
But it's not consistent because, as you well know, you go into the hall sometimes and you will nail it. And that's not coincidence. Because during that session, they're too consistent for it to be coincidence.
No, but sometimes I'll still have left something out.
If you've left it out, like it's not, you haven't left it out. Because
I'll have left something out, but it won't be one of the major things. I know they all are major things.
They're all major
part
things.
of the thing. Okay. It's not the anchor point I've left out. It's not.
With some of the grouping that you're getting, it means you're executing a really good cycle.
Yeah, I'm not stroking the face.
So you're not like, okay, there's not one thing. I mean, that's why we do the cycle.
Yeah.
And it's very important.
Yeah.
If you're going to neglect and leave off bits of the cycle and still execute a good shot, then why even have it in there? Okay. That means you're adhering to the cycle. You're adhering to the shot process, albeit in your own way, but you have a level of consistency there that some evenings your grouping is amazing. I'm talking about reds and yellows for the whole night.
But never the bullseye. But also, dear listener, can we just revert to this episode in a few months where he is telling me to stroke my face, please? Thank you. Because it'll happen. Because I suppose it'll be my fault because my shot cycle's gone to shit, so I have to go back to basics and I have to stroke my face again.
Like every other archer.
You're just picking on me. It's all about
goes back
me.
to basics occasionally, but not all of them want to admit it.
What else have you got for me then, other than stroking my face?
Okay, we have a beginner's...
I really want people who listen to this next time they release and they stroke their face to go, I'm stroking my face. Think of us.
I'm going to let that slip now at the beginner's course someday, and it's going to be a horrible, uncomfortable, stunned silence.
I'm going to be in the corner laughing my ass off. Like... But make sure you stroke your face. Okay. I'm the designated person, everyone. Oh, God.
Yeah, no. It's just a term of reference to to identify a point in the shot cycle to establish a familiarity with it. That's all it is.
I'm so looking forward to helping out in the next course.
Me too, actually. Let me see.
Give me some hard-hitting questions, Owen.
Okay. I'm going to
Right.
get the hard hitters now because I've been saving these to the end.
Can you even see at this stage? You want me to open
I can
them?
see. And maybe I'm going to be reverting back because maybe you've already fired these ones at me. But these are like a beginner's hard hitter because you're shooting what now? A year? Nearly a year.
Yeah.
Okay. So, why is the mental game important? I'm going to have another strawberry jammy Dodger because I've never seen the red ones before. No, they're pink. Sorry.
Why is the mental game important? Because I suppose it's everything. Like any sport you do, you have to have mental resilience and you have to have focus and you have to have all of these things in order to be able to continue with it and get what you need out of it. Because if you go in and you crumble at the first thing, you're screwed. Especially with archery. Jesus Christ. You know, what?
I actually like that because it's that frustration, especially like archery. And you see so many people, they go, archery. For fuck's sake, archery.
But it's like the other week when I said to you, I was just like, I'm sick of this and I hate it. And you're like, you're speaking like a real archer now.
Yeah,
you know?
but that's what's cool about it. Because that you're already, without even knowing, establishing the foundation for mental fortitude and resilience. You're like, this is pissed me off yet again. And yet you're back.
Yeah.
That is, I think that's so cool.
But that's what you need with archery because you never get it perfect.
No.
Some weeks you're great. The next week you might as well just throw, I don't know, sticks at the bloody target.
Yeah.
I don't know if that
But you walk back to the hall, you unpack your bow, you string it, you knock your arrow, and you try again.
I like the way you say you string it like mine's not already strung all the time. It's not at the moment. Yeah. It's in the car, unstrung.
Yeah, after I berated you over your
bow
strung.
Do you know what? I listened to Colleen.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
I listened to the level 4 coach, Owen.
Go listen to Colleen then.
It did. She made me scared. She was like, he's putting a lot of pressure on the limbs. I was like, oh shit, they're going to explode when I shoot now.
What did she mean I have a lot to answer for?
Right, you ask her. I'm not her spokesperson. Jesus. I think it's probably down to the fact that when she introduced me, or you introduced me, I went, level 4 coach. Like a bloody idiot. It might be that. Because you've been programmed like a Pavlovian bloody dog to every time I hear her name, just go level 4 coach.
I'm easily programmed.
I'm easily programmed. I'm the one who's a Pavlovian freaking dog over here.
I'm easily programmed as well.
Great.
I just don't always work.
Do you want more coffee?
I'm good. It's really nice.
It's cold.
I don't care.
So what else have you got?
But so we have the mental game. Why is it important? So
it's not important, Owen. It is vital. Vital. It's the lifeblood of the sport. He's not even listening.
And I am listening.
He's not listening. He's over there reading stuff and he's ignoring me.
I said I can, just because I don't listen doesn't mean I can't hear. What if I'm okay or good or fine during practice, but I can't focus during a competition?
Are we just going to relate it to me?
Yeah.
I haven't been in a competition, so I don't know.
You did the field and hunter and leash. You did the male
That wasn't
match.
a competition. That didn't feel like a competition. That was me just going out and shooting stuff.
Okay, then that's your...
I don't think I'm going to know how I am until I start doing the stuff over winter and stuff.
Fair enough.
And I'm hoping that I'll be okay. I'm just going to be like I was in the woods and just be like, fuck it, just do it.
Okay.
This is all I can do.
And do you have any like techniques or strategies or processes for developing your mental game?
No.
Sorry, these are extremely general questions.
No, I don't. I'm awful.
I should have read these first before I asked them.
You should. Lack of preparation is disgraceful. But bless you. You tried. No, I don't own, and that's honest to God. I literally just go in and wing it. Because
I like that.
Like, I'm not going to get myself absolutely worked up and pissed off and everything else over something that I really like.
Yeah.
And it's supposed to be fun.
I think that's an excellent answer. I like that a lot.
Do you not think it's very non-committal?
No, I think it's reassuring, because I think that's what it's about, and it's a personal thing, and like I keep saying, it's not to be dismissive or make light or be disingenuous about the various aspects of archery, but if people do want to take it to another level, the avenues are there, supports are there as well. But I think,
Jesus, if I was a pro or whatever, the answer would be completely different, I'm sure. But
yeah,
I'm just doing it because it's something that I think I'm good at. It's something I enjoy doing, even though it really fucks me off beyond belief. But yeah, I just get on with it, wing it.
cool. And let's say a beginner comes to you and they're doing their competition, they've come in and let's say like that, they said, geez, Roberta, I'm giving this up. I'm walking away from it. I've had a crap day. I didn't like the group I was with. I've lost all my arrows. I don't like my bow or whatever. And I don't need that kind of attention. I don't need that kind of, I don't need to beat myself up like that. I'm going home. I'm going to do Gaelic football.
You can do both. You can do both.
I'm going to do Gaelic football instead of archery.
No. Oh, look, I'd say, okay, if that's your decision, I'm going to respect it. But at the end of the day, why don't you just go home, chill out for a while, get something nice to eat, relax, come down to the next time to the hall, shoot, try my bow, try some other people's bows, see what you think, take it easy, even just come down to the hall and have a chat, because everybody has shit days, and immediate kind of reaction like that usually doesn't result in the best decision.
Correct. Yeah.
Says me, trust me, I know. Very impulsive decisions sometimes. So yeah, I'd probably just try and say that to them and see what they think. Everyone's sick of me talking about it at this stage, I know. But I snotted myself in front of practically everyone that day in Laois when I tripped over that tree stump.
Oh, don't.
And I landed in a whole pile of nettles and I was stung all over the place.
Yeah.
And if I got up and still went on with it, then everybody has a bad day.
Yeah,
I still went back and shot, and I still whatever. So you get over your bad day.
Yeah, that's about it. And whether it's tripping or falling or whatever, like I said, for me, I've had equipment failures. You know, you can have your bad days as well.
But who put a tree stump in the middle of the forest stone? That's what I want to know. Like it's a rogue tree stump. How dare they?
I know.
I wasn't expecting a tree stump in the middle of it.
When I take it up with our sustainability officer, she knows that sort of stuff.
It's actually Michelle's fault.
She knows why trees grow in forests.
No, it's Michelle's fault. She should have been.
Yeah, she should have warned you about the trees in the forest. In fairness.
Yeah. The flat ground. Fucking Egypt, like the flat ground in a forest. You spanner.
Not at all.
This is my problem, you see, because I take some stuff so literally. So in my head, I was like, it's a flat ground. Fucking Egypt. Have you anything else for me?
No, I think when it comes to, I suppose, the mental game of archery, it's something that's very important. It goes back to the coach-archer relationship and the influence that can have as well. And not just on a person's, I suppose, that they're developing shot cycle or their familiarity with a competition or their experience. But there's a huge role there to be, I suppose, careful of when it comes to a beginner or even somebody who's gone beyond the beginner stage and they're exploring archery. And because it's not like and no disrespect to team sports, but when it comes to training, and again, I don't do team sports, so again, I might be speaking out of turn, but there might be huge emphasis on drills and performance and repetition and muscle memory and strength and all that kind of thing. But with archery, when it comes to the mental game, it's not how a person develops their own mental fortitude or resilience. You might not always realize, but there's a huge responsibility and a duty of care from the coach as well, because those first and the environment that's created for that archer in nurturing their interest or passion in the sport. And I'm not saying that it's like coaches should have necessarily a skill base in this, but it is something that I think that it's awareness of, I suppose, that the mental aspect of the journey an archer is on, that everybody's different, everybody's got their own different motivations, their own aspirations, their own burdens. And I suppose the creation of, I go back to an autonomous, boundary, safe, archery-focused environment is absolutely critical. as to that archer's mental development and fortitude within the sport context.
Do you think that, just to interrupt you
Yeah.
completely while you're on a roll there, do you think that coaches of all levels should have basic training in therapeutic sort of interventions and that kind of thing, or recognizing signs with people or whatnot? And the only reason I'm saying that, I'm not saying that
Yeah.
they owe them. I'm not, because
Yeah.
obviously there's a line,
Correct.
and you
Yeah.
have to be very careful.
Yeah.
But it's more to do with, if like we do safeguarding and
I
everything else.
I think, and again,
So
it's
why don't we do
see
something
this
like
is
that?
and again, it's just my own personal opinion. Okay,
Yeah.
I have to emphasize that strongly. I think not necessarily that they need training or a qualification as
But
such,
not a
but
qualification,
yeah,
but a basic training or something like that
I
to
think
support them
I
as well.
I think what's more important. No, it is important, but I think what's very important is people need, maybe coaches have to be, or maybe it can be corporate. Again, it's just my own opinion because it's something I read on and study and try and focus on as well. Because everybody's different and everybody's got their own different backgrounds and things. An awareness of, an acute awareness and respect of people's boundaries is critical, because we're not here to fix people or solve people's personal problems, because
Yeah,
we
no.
can't. That's not our
Yeah,
role.
yeah.
But they will sometimes. But everybody's different. You might, when you're coaching somebody, you're working with somebody, you're you're not dealing with a level playing field. It's like we're not dealing with automans or robots. Everybody's different. So when you do become aware of people's different traits and behaviors and quirks and all that kind of thing, and they all have to be navigated differently. Because look, for example, and just take not to get too deep on it, you might be coaching somebody after a few weeks. You know what? I know I can push this person a certain way and execute a certain bluntness in my delivery with this person, because I know this. You get to know somebody, and you're able to, you can be a bit more kind of forthright and say, look, this is what you need to do. This is how you need to do it. If this is what you want to do, if this is what your goal is in 6 months' time. Right. Whereas maybe with other people,
What you do with me? What you do with me?
oh, you never reveal this to the art.
Tell
Oh no,
me.
under no
Tell
circumstances do you.
me.
Not
Nobody
at
knows where you
all.
are. I'll never release this
And with other
episode.
people, you have, and because everybody's different. But the fundamental basic tenet at all times is the respecting of boundaries.
Yeah.
Okay, and knowing, because that's a shifting kind of thing as well. Because like I said, how you coach one person is different to how you coach another person. You might take a more kind of longer term perspective, and you might approach them in a different way, in a different kind of, I won't say gentler, but a more kind of maybe a certain amount of more subtleties required. And that's fine, because everybody's different. And as a coach, you become aware of these things with people, and the more people you coach, the more you become aware of it. That's all part, and to be respectful of your inherent knowledge of that person, because you're learning stuff about somebody as well. Maybe nobody else in the club or is ever going to know.
And sometimes people divulge stuff they don't
Oh
actually
yeah, no, that's
intentionally
a
divulge.
whole other
No,
thing.
but they don't do it intentionally.
They
It's
don't
just
intelligent. Yeah,
a
exactly.
natural type of
But
thing.
when it's divulging stuff, or you're watching something, and maybe it could be a physical restriction. You're becoming aware of that person in many ways, and sometimes you have to be aware of that in order for them to enjoy the sport as well, because you're only pushing them into areas that they don't want to do. The point is, you're going to be learning stuff about that person, and so while I could go back to your question about maybe an element of training, I think yes, but more an awareness of where your role as a coach stops.
Yeah, and I suppose that what came up there as well, what popped into my head was all well and good talking about the mental health and support and everything of the archer, but what about the mental health and support of the coach?
See, that's a whole other thing as well, because this is, and just keep going back. At the end of the day, we're all only human. None of us are perfect, and we're volunteers. And every single coach, and not to take away from committee members, but they're volunteers. Most coaches have invested financially with no recompense. Not that I'm looking for that, or not that because we enjoy it. I love it. But at the end of the day, we're volunteers. And maybe that's sometimes, again, where the self-awareness comes in, that if you're feeling a bit of pressure and all that kind of thing, maybe it's time to step back a bit, focus on shooting, whatever. You don't want that spilling over into the coach-athlete relationship either. So it's more of awareness, the self-awareness of your own kind of thresholds, and also an awareness of shifting boundaries with an archer, where they might be and definitely where not to cross them. So maybe a certain element of that could be maybe introduced in a coach program without necessarily training them as such.
Yeah, there's such thing as professional boundaries, so there really should be a thing as coach-athlete boundaries. And
because at the end of the day, there's a huge amount, and to be fair to Veronica, she touched upon this as well in her podcast as well. Trust is critical as well, because you have that. I was listening to her podcast, and then was it somebody else's as well, and they touched upon trust as well. The quote, it's you build up a trust.
Anna's
Anna
probably,
as well.
Yeah.
So you there's a huge amount of trust then built up between, say, I suppose, the archer and the coach as well, because 99 when at level 2, when you're bringing the archer from beginner to competition, you're not in a beginner environment with 10, 15, 20, 30 people. You're teaching this person one-on-one, because you're trying to figure out now, what does this person want to do? What's that person's limitations? What their capabilities? And you're gathering this information for that person to enjoy the pursuit. So they don't get hurt, so they don't put themselves under undue pressure, so they don't find themselves in uncomfortable situations. Because again, with everybody, you know what, from chatting with this person, he or she, they're going to 3D archery. This seems to be something that they might really enjoy, the banter, the crack. Other people, no, target archery, no, they just want to go in, do the competition, focus down the line. But these are things you explore with the archer, because different types of archery might suit different types of archers. I do all the different competitions because I don't really care. But I think the whole thing about, say, coach training, and again, I don't drift from an area that's not my remit. But so I'm talking about my own personal journey, and that's something I try and learn for myself. The importance of respecting and the boundary between the coach archer, because I do enjoy coaching. I love it, in fact. And part of it's just keep it simple as well. But that's something I think is very important if to be, I suppose, an effective, supportive coach. And it goes back to what I was saying as well. Part of your coaching routine is creating an environment for that archer where they can support themselves, where they can learn by themselves, where you give them the tools and the strength and confidence where they can learn by themselves.
Yeah, when I was up there on Saturday, you were focused on the flint.
Yeah.
And I think that's the first time in a long time you haven't been coaching me a lot.
Yeah.
And I was grand.
Yeah, but that's it.
Because you'd given me the tools and the knowledge to just shoot and get on with it.
And you were more than grand, you were nailing it.
No, there might be an issue there. You might need to leave me alone all the time now.
That's okay.
No, but that's a testament to you, because you have given me what I need to do what I want to do.
Yeah. But and I think that's important for archers, because it is a solitary pursuit, and part of it is actually creating an environment where they can just do it by themselves, learn by themselves, grow up by themselves, develop themselves, but they're not abandoned. There's a difference. I'm not in your face. I'm not.
Yeah, but that's the thing, and a lot of people might struggle with it, is that you're not that person's coach. You're the coach for the club. Yeah. And it's to respect that and not be like, I know I take up a lot of your time sometimes, because I'm like, what the fuck's happening here?
That's not it.
But no, but what I'm saying is, I'm like, and that's how it should be. It should be a case of you're perfectly fine shooting on your own.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And there's a new cohort. We're going to be doing a new class now in September.
Yeah, really.
So a whole new cohort are coming in. There's a couple of kids on that one, which is bloody brilliant.
Yeah.
And there'll be a lot of your time and focus on them, but I can still build on what we've worked on.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know? Yeah.
And what's nice as well, as the club grows, you have more and more people in the club who are becoming more active in not just in the running of the club, but helping out on the beginners courses as well.
Yeah.
And so that can help too, if they want to become coaches or they want to just help out. You have that kind of ongoing. So it's not just always about shooting. You have that, like I said, that social kind of benevolent, kind of altruistic element as well. So that's all part of the whole archery thing. It's not just about medals.
Yeah. Good.
So,
did we cover what we need to cover, do you think?
I think we covered. And like I said, I do have, it's my own personal opinion.
Yeah.
It's my own kind of take on things.
It's okay. We
No.
don't think you're sponsored by Big Pharma or something.
and,
It's around like or
or
Big
by-
Archery. Sorry.
Or who makes the cookies?
Oh, Lidl.
I'm not sponsored by Lidl either.
We should be. The coffee is from there.
Well,
the biscuits are from
if this is what
there.
if you're getting these out, I'm going to get a packet of these. These are really nice.
You can take them. Take that one
just
home.
for the benefit of the listeners, I'm admiring a strawberry jammy dodger. I've never seen one before.
They taste a bit weird.
They do taste a bit weird, but you get used to it.
They're not as nice as the normal ones, actually. I don't think. So, can you do the outro, because I keep forgetting to do them, and then I end up using a different microphone, and then I sound like
the outro.
Yeah. Thanks very much. Blah blah blah.
You want me to do the outro?
Yeah. It's okay. Don't panic.
Okay. You didn't tell me about this.
Even if I told you, you wouldn't have prepared
I
anyway.
wasn't prepared. Oh yeah, actually, sorry, you got that in first. Okay, outro.
You did one the other week anyway.
And can you just splice that one in?
No.
So thank you, listeners, for listening to our podcast, Archery Not Anarchy. And we're on YouTube, and we're on Spotify. And we have, our email address is strongbow. No, sorry. Oh no, shit. archerynotanarchy@gmail.com. And it's, no, and seriously, I mean, love to hear from you. Any stories, anecdotes, advice, contradictions, and it all adds into the merry pot that we're creating here. And thanks very much for listening. Much appreciated.
It's the longest outro in the history of outros.
Yeah, but that's what happened. You didn't tell me how to do an outro.
Oh God. All you had to say was thank you so much for listening.
Thank you so much for listening.
Really appreciate it.
I really appreciate it.
Okay, so thanks everyone. You didn't say the line. The stupid line that I have. Staying by the wall and mind the arrows.
Stay by the wall and mind the arrows.